But first, we have a special guest here in the Price Chopper Kitchen. This is Jenny Sims. She goes by Jendo Bakes, and if you take a look at these cookies, you can tell Jenny really does bake
yes,
here.
I do.
Okay, so these are actually representing different steps of cookie decorating.
Correct. So first, you're going to start with your favorite sugar cookie recipe. Roll it out, pick your cutters, bake them. So you have your plain sugar cookies here. The next step, you want to outline them. Then we're going to flood them with a little bit thinner consistency of icing, and then we'll decorate them. So we can kind of take you through the whole process here.
And she has some specially picked out just for Halloween. I see boo, bats, and pieces of candy.
Yeah, kind of fun. We are very Halloween themed with that coming up as the next holiday here in a couple weeks. So we're going to decorate some ghosts and pumpkins today.
Oh, so perfect. And we probably need to get started because these little masterpieces could take a while.
Definitely. It's definitely a process. So you're going to start with your icing recipe. I kind of love this recipe because it doesn't dry too hard, so it tastes good. They don't only look pretty, but they're delicious as well. So it's a stick of butter, 3 tablespoons of meringue powder. Meringue powder, it's just kind of dry egg whites. You can get it at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Amazon even. And then you're gonna pick your extract. So I use vanilla and almond, and then powdered sugar and water, and you mix it up, and that's kind of your base. So you make your icing, then you choose your colors you want, and here we've got Halloween colors, so orange, green, black, purple. And you're gonna want to mix it up, and it'll kind of be a thicker consistency. So what I have here in these bags is our icing that we're gonna use to outline the cookie. So if you see, you can kind of just go along, and it's a little bit thicker. So you can see that it will stick to the cookie, and then you'll be able to outline the whole thing.
That's beautiful.
Yep, and then, so that's the outline icing, and then you're gonna wanna flood it next. So to get it a little bit thinner, you're gonna mix in just a couple tablespoons of water into the icing and put that in a separate bag. So that's what I have here. And Belinda is going to fill in a pumpkin for us. So,
she promised me she'd teach me how to decorate.
So she's gonna fill in the pumpkin, but as you can see, this icing's just a little bit thinner, and it'll kind of just absorb and flow to the outlines of the icing. So you'll fill it in like that, and we don't have to, I won't do all of it, so we have time to kind of get to the decorating, but you can see it's a little bit thinner, and it'll fill in. Something that's kind of key and easy to do is if you shake it a little, it'll smooth out. So that's another little trick.
So I need to like smooth out my little holes
there. See, also
okay.
Another kind of helpful tip is if you take a toothpick, you can kind of just spread it with the toothpick, which is also easier than just shaking it. So then once you have it filled in, then you're gonna kind of come back to your thicker outline icing, and you can decorate the cookies. So, you know, here we've got some that have already been flooded and dried, and we can go back and add some details to them. So if you want, you know, the bat's wings to have lines in them, you can add little faces to them.
And do you actually look up patterns for cookies, or have you made some
now?
Yeah,
I mean, I think I kind of just look at everything for inspiration, whether it's, you know, previous cookies someone else has made. Pinterest is obviously a great way to get helpful inspiration, but a lot of the times people kind of come to me with what they're sort of thinking, or maybe they want to match it to a party invitation or some other decorations they have. So really, it kind of, ideas come from everywhere.
Okay, so when you were first starting, did you do this with a family member? How'd you get your start?
I did. My grandma was a big baker, so I've been baking with her ever since I was little. Me and my sisters love it. So we kind of started there, and really from there, it's just self-taught and practice. I know my first cookies were not pretty. Yeah, there's some Jayhawk cookies we made for the Big 12 tournament this past year, which is fun. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for years now, and my first cookies were not pretty at all, so definitely practice makes perfect, and they're never perfect, but you're gonna eat them. So as long as they taste good, then that's all that matters.
They look very good, little pieces of art. Thank you so much, Jenny, for coming on.